Hey, folks, here we are. It is Wednesday. It's January 10, 2024. I'm Tom Young. I'm here hopefully to enlighten you, to guide you, to give you some answers to the quest for success in life. Success financially, success in relationships. I've been married 54 years to the same lady first adult woman that I met, fell in love with her, married her, and we've been together ever since. And I hope and pray that those kind of things work for you at the same way, that you find happiness, financial security, and well-being in your future. We're here today to do this, and we're going to say hi to our friends on Facebook, the Family Money Farm Group, and the podcast that we're creating will be launched and put onto anchor.fm.com, where you can follow me on podcast called Money Shifts. Today is number 660. So we've been doing this a while. And I was out last week in Florida to a conference. And you know, I was literally humbled because I had several people that I don't see and only met a few times, talked about my podcasts and my presentations, and they were just blown away and said they listened to me all the time. I was taken back completely, humbly, and etc. We start every presentation with a prayer for everybody in the world that's been touched by this Chinese virus called COVID-19. Came out of the Wuhan lab in China that is operated by the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. Take that for whatever you want, folks. They are not our friends. Sorry to say, but they are not. Our prayers go out for those who have had their health impaired by the virus, those who have lost loved ones, and especially the loved ones who have been lost. That we pray to the Lord that he would open his arms and gather those into his kingdom of heaven above. We offer prayers for Ukraine and what is going on there, and we pray that somehow that these crazy men doing these actions would find a road to peace and stop the destruction and the killing. Same thing applies for now. Israel is now involved, and we have actions going on literally around the world in several hotspots. So our prayers go out for those who have been lost, that somehow these folks would find peace in their hearts and stop the destruction and the killing. As we go on, let me talk about where's that here? Let me get my quote for the day. And our quote for the day is still from Vince Lombardi. I know what our talk's going to be about today, suggestions to mind success. In other words, how do we're at the beginning of the year. I want to be successful this year. I want to surpass last year. And what are the things that I need to do to make that happen? That's what we're going to talk about today. Our quote today from Vince Lombardi: man's finest hour is the moment when he has worked his heart out in a good cause and lies exhausted on the field of battle victorious. Were you victorious in 2023? I believe I was. We hit our goal and actually surpassed it a small amount. So I achieved what I set out for 2023. And I'm currently writing out goals and things for 2024. So you need to write goals down, things that are important to you, things that you have faith that you can do it. You believe that you can do it. You believe in you. That's the important thing here. You write down goals, you set out steps. In other words, how am I going to achieve these goals? What is my action plan for this week and this month and going forward? What are the obstacles that I will face in this challenge? These goals that I have set for myself excite me because they are more than they were last year to a good amount. And they excite me because when I achieve the goals this year and the success that I'm expecting, See, it's all about the 6 inches between your ears, folks. There it is right there. If you don't believe that you can do it, if you cannot see yourself accomplishing the goals that you have set, then it's not likely you're going to accomplish them. My rules of the game, in other words, suggest to yourself only those things you want to happen. Never think about, talk about, or act out the ones that you do not want. That's a quote from Elsie Lincoln Benedict out of The Secrets of Success that comes out of the Foundation for Napoleon Hill. So it is really all about mind control. It is about what we do here, because if you think about every day your experiences all day long, you have the television on, the radio on, you're around other people, all of these verbal events, visual events that you see have a huge impact on you and your success, how you believe in yourself, how you believe that you can do the things you have set out for yourself to do. It all comes down to mind control. Because as it said in the quote, do not focus on things that you do not want. And we all do that sometimes. We think about things and, oh, this is what I don't want. Not focus on the things that you do want. Set a work plan, an action plan to move forward to that. But you must start with thinking first. You have to be able to visualize yourself already completing the goal, the task, and the things that you set out for yourself to do. You have to think as though the goals have already been achieved. You have to see yourself with the success that you've set up for yourself for the year. I have learned this a long time ago. I'm not a master of it. When I set goals, they don't always happen. They don't always come true. But more often than not, when they don't come true, I have allowed CDs into my mind, creeping doubts. In other words, creeping doubts that, oh my, look at what happened. And I start to focus on the negative instead of looking at what happened and what can I learn from what happened, to not repeat it, to get out of the ditch. On with my camera and screen, but it's jumping around. That's what's so important in everything we do. How you think, how you see, and how you measure, especially financially, because people are taught to measure, I don't want to say incorrectly, but incompletely. Let me say it that way. If I'm looking at money moving forward, money in my retirement plan, I'm putting money into my 401k. I met with a young couple day before yesterday or yesterday afternoon, and they are newly married and they both have substantial good jobs. They make a substantial amount of money. They've got about $8,000 or $10,000 of credit card debt, and the interest rates were anywhere from 23 to 28% on these credit cards. So they have to change the way they think. They're both putting money, substantial amounts of money, into their 401k retirement plan. Well, I asked them the question, when you look at $34+ trillion of debt the government is in, and right now they're fighting in Washington over how they're going to fund $2.6 trillion shortfall this year that they're facing right now. They have to borrow money now to complete the year between now and September. Isn't that an unbelievable shame that has to happen? And that's what they're fighting over. So now when I think about that, Are taxes in the future going to be higher, the same, or lower than they are today? And everybody tells me the same answer. The taxes are going to have to be higher, because if you study the marginal tax brackets over the last 100 or so years, you're going to find at one time the tax rates were as high as 92%. So if you made over $200,000 a year, the next tax rate was 92%. How would you handle that, folks? $200,000 a year today in a family is not getting people rich. But imagine the next dollar you earn, the government confiscated 92% of it. On top of all that, the unfunded liability, the promised future payments of money, now exceeds $212 trillion. It is never going to be paid, folks. It is never going to be funded. So it just simply guarantees that somewhere in the not too distant future, the big crash is coming. I have no way to describe the kind of crash I'm talking about. But why would you save money in a government program that partners you with the government and gives them the audacity to say to you, look, I don't know how much I'm going to need in the future. I will determine the tax rate or the interest rate on your money when I decide when I need it. Would you enter into that agreement? You know, somebody wants to loan you money. You need money, so they're going to loan you money. What do you want to know? I want to know the terms of the agreement, the terms of the loan. How much interest am I going to have to pay? And when do I have to pay it back? And the lender says, well, I don't know. When I need the money in the future, I will determine the interest rate that I will charge you at that point in time. And I will also determine when I need it back at some future time. See, they have the ability to change the rules. And you willingly fall into that trap, like most people in America. That's why, again, 95% of all the people end up dead or dead broke. Are you ready to stop that? We're getting ready to launch a brand new program, a program in economics and personal finance, an educational program that you can access for as little as $99. There is nothing in this education about products of any kind. It is the basic understanding of how money works and how you can start to save money in a profoundly successful way. Heads up, more information is coming. Get my book, The Family Money Farm, the CFO Project. There it is, going overhead. Go to cfo-project.com, put in your name and email address. You'll get a link in an email to download that book. The Family Money Farm, the CFO Project, and my newest book called Financial Mastery Coaching. It is an ebook that you can also download for free. God bless you all. We will see you again here in a couple of days. God bless.